been one whole day since we went out video game shopping. It's J Bob, the video game slob. You know we don't take days off here just because it's raining. Let's go find some games. All right, got a few things at stop number 1. Let's check out shop number 2. You can see the rain coming in here. No pickups from that store, and it definitely reeked like weed. So we're off to the next one. Holy heck, GameStop came through in a big way. We got some collector's editions. We got amiibos. We spent $500 or so. So that might be the end of the journey, I think. All right, you know we couldn't give it up. We're on the middle of a hot streak. We got to keep going. And wouldn't you know it, they're hiring. So I think that is good news for us. Maybe we get a job while we're here. We grabbed a couple things. Let's keep it rolling. Well, one last place we had to hit up here real quick. Bad news is the guy that was in front of me bought all their PlayStation 4 systems at $50 a piece, so that was sort of a bummer. And he did get some Game Boy games, but at the same time, you know what? We got another bag of stuff, so we ended up grabbing a DS and some junk. But you know, what are you going to do? Now we got another enemy out there, somebody I didn't recognize, so we're going to have to keep out picking him. All right, let's get it all back to the house and get a final shot. All right, new thrift store just opened up, and we had to stop in on the way back home. Well, we're back at the domicile, going over what we got. We hit up the GameStop and got a $80 collector's edition, $79.99 for the Switch, for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Unleashed game. I understand people hate this game, but the collector's edition was like $200. If you look on eBay, that's what people used to be paying for it. It is super heavy because it comes with this super dope pizza van, and of course some other junk nobody cares about, but that's the big trinket inside, and darn if it isn't cool. Hey, will it go down lower? Maybe. If it does, I'll dollar cost average and grab some more of them if they become available, but I'm pretty happy with that for $80. And speaking of which, we have this previously $90 Assassin's Creed Mirage collector's case. It's got a giant statue in there. These were $30, so this is the only one they had, so I went ahead and grabbed that. As you saw, we hit up a thrift store there after the video game run. I couldn't help myself, you know, making our way back to the house. This is our first black KitchenAid one of the year here, but we got a bunch of utensils and stuff in there. So yeah, we keep selling out of those, so of course we're going to keep stocking them. And of course, I ran out of VCRs, and so then I got a whole bunch. We've already sold the first one, so for $12.99 and $13.99 with remotes and sometimes extra cords and stuff, you know, a little under $30 with tax for the pair. I'll wait to pick those up because we'll put $35 a piece on them, so that'll help out. One lesson I've learned in business is you know, you run out of stock and then you come into a whole bunch. Now, what is this? 5, 6, 7 in a row VCRs, and you have a tendency to say, geez, I don't know if I should have that much in extra. What I've learned is always lean into it. Buy them when you see them. That'll always sell. You can always not buy in the future. But, you know, if you have the cash available, make sure you buy and have the inventory when people need it. So let's clear the table and get back with all the games. All right, rounding it out with the best stuff, the video game stuff. We'll go in reverse order. This is 3 different pawn stores that we hit up. A little $5 unbox game. But it's a merge game, and they usually make some uncommon stuff. $2 for Journey to the Savage Planet. Little beat-up case there, but what are you going to do? We paid $5 for Little Nightmares 2. Moldy copy of Skate 3, but for $1, you're not going to turn that down. Again, the Marvel Ultimate Alliance mixed with the Forza 2 for $1. We'll take that all day. We paid $2 for a fairly minty copy of WWE 2K17, and $5 for the beat-up Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath. I don't know if I've ever messed with the Aftermath thing. Who knows if the code in it is good or bad. We picked up a $15 loose Tears of the Kingdom, so I figure that's a pretty decent deal. $45 with tax all in for our DS, light that has the GBA slot. Definitely needs some cleaning, but I was able to test it out That other guy did buy the other games, but he left some GBA games, so we got those thrown in, and of course a charger comes with it, which is nice. It saves a couple bucks. I don't know, not the worst deal for 45 bucks, but kind of funny that no matter what you do, no matter where you go, we're always running into competition and things like that, even in the middle of the week. We did clear out another game store. They had the Zelda for 40. This is the second time I've picked up a gold Zelda from them. They never seem to understand that it sells for more, and I hope they never figure that out. I didn't have Eve Valkyrie, so for $5, it's a VR game, whatever. I still think that was worth it, and I think it was 16 on the Link for the NES. I didn't have that in stock, so we'll take that for inventory. So there you go. But here's what we just keep cleaning up lately, the $15, $30 sale from GameStop. This place seemed to have a ton of them. It was definitely unpicked. Nobody seemed to care. Rage 2, which I wouldn't usually care about, but it came with this weird extra thing. It was the GameStop exclusive. It's got the VHS thing. I don't know. Whatever. We tried it. We picked up another front mission for my friend who didn't get one last time, so he'll be excited about that. Again, I've mentioned I'm not big on the Devolver games because I just overprint the heck out of them. A little damage here, but always nice to just get like a nice deluxe edition game for 15 bucks. Since I was there, they just had a $10 Obscure the Aftermath, so like, what am I going to not buy the horror game on the Wii? Of course we are. They had the Wii Heart Katamari with the reroll. Just a weird game here, Miasma Chronicles, so I figured I'd try that out. I have the super mega collector's edition of Unicorn Overlord, but not the base edition, so we grabbed that. Visions of Mana, which is another one that I really needed to get into that I didn't have, so we picked that up. And the Dead Cells Return to Castlevania, so now we've closed that collection out, which is nice. This one I may be regretting. I can't tell. Internet and PlayStation Plus required for online multiplayer. But it does say that it has single player and that you can play it solo. I don't know. We'll find out. That might have been a mistake to pick that one up. We did get 2 copies of the UFO robot that we got on the PS5 the other day because my buddy wanted a copy. So now we were able to find that. And same thing here. We picked up 2 copies of the Walking Dead Chapter 2 VR game, but again, a nice deluxe VR game sealed for 15 bucks. It's just such a hard deal to pass up, so why wouldn't you buy them? We got the Doinksoft collection, which, it's Devolver, but I figure for 15, I'm not too scared. Same with the Metaverse Keepers. PM Studio stuff tends to get hard to find. These were sealed, so we picked up another Mario RPG for 30 and another WarioWare for 30. Maybe I'm way off the mark. Maybe those will never be worth it because I keep turning up sealed copies. But I'm just not going to turn down sealed copies of Nintendo stuff for 30 bucks. I've learned that lesson. I could have swore I had Coffee Talk. I guess I did not. But always nice for 15 bucks to get it in the nice bonus bigger box edition with all the stuff. And the same thing, the Dustborn, I didn't care that it wasn't, like, absolutely sealed, because, for 15 bucks, you're getting all the touchy-feelies and extras. We also picked up, GameStop's been doing this for a while now, the 97-cent back issues. So we grabbed a bunch of copies of the very last issue of Game Informer, and then we grabbed their last 2 copies of the Mario Wonder Game Informer, because it's the last Mario cover, so that seems pretty cool. And then for 10 bucks each, we picked up 9 of the Amiibos, 3 of the Charizards, 3 of the Duck Hunt, and 3 of the Pikachu. So yeah, my buddy owns a store, and so he just says, yeah, get them. I'll use them for stock in my store. So, hard to blame him. Hold on to them for a couple of years. They'll go out of print, and then he'll have them in stock when nobody else does. So hard to blame him for that. Oh my gosh, mega haul. Like $500 at GameStop alone. Probably 600 or more in total. So kind of a big day going out. Did not expect to spend this much, but got some really great inventory and some really good things that I think people are going to wish they bought more of like sealed Switch games a couple years in the future. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Have you been taking advantage of the 15/30 sale at GameStop? Have you been finding more cheap legacy, I don't want to say retro games, the Wii, Wii U, PS3, 360 stuff that GameStop has had in stock lately? I've been finding some good deals. Have you seen? I don't know. Maybe it's just an anomaly here and it'll go away. Let me know in the comments. We'll come back at you soon.